What's up, guys? Tim Little, Matt Allen. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin and welcome back to the Holiday Buyer's Guide series. Today's video, we're talking rod and reel combos around $100.
We are so excited to kick off these rod and reel combo videos. This is what the entire Buyer's Guide series has been building to. These are the videos that people wait for. We're starting with those $100 rod and reel combos. Now, we say combos. These are rod and reel separate. You're not buying a combo, a rod and a reel that collectively are going to land around that $100 mark, give or take. There's a little bit of change this year. Some of those key price point reels got discontinued in the last year. So we've got a few combos that make the price for you and a few that are going to do a little reaching. The good news is we timed these videos intentionally with Tackle Warehouse's sale on rods. So that's going to save you some money and help you get closer to that price point. You want to kick us off?
Sure. Yeah, when we're looking at all this gear, right, when we're looking at $100 price point for the combo, this is all gear that Matt and I have used. And looking down this lineup, this is all gear we've had for at least a season or two. So when you start juggling around these different combos, know that there's durability. They're durable. There's no durability issues. They last. And that's what's hard to find in the cheaper, less expensive price point. So to kick it off, we're going to go with the Shimano Celis. We got 2 spinning rods for you, and then we got 4 bait casting combos. So we're talking the Shimano Celis. Now, I literally fish with this rod. My kids have a couple rigged up. They go down to the water. We go down to the park or whatever, and we'll fish with these. We'll fish them on the boat. They have no durability issues. This rod we've used for 2.5 seasons now, paired up with a neck save. Durability. I can't say enough about durability because in the past, at least when I was buying gear, you spent your money, but usually after a season or half a season, you might as well just throw it in the trash.
Down.
You know, the reels start grinding, you snap a guide off or the tip off, and just things just start falling apart. But the Celis is super durable. It's fairly sensitive. If you want to increase sensitivity with all these, you can add braid. But here we have it paired up with fluorocarbon. Again, that Shimano, that neck save. There's no play in the reel handle. I remember when I was buying stuff as a teenager at this price point, and you'd go to pull that handle back, and it would spin almost all the way back. There was so much play. But with all these brands, that higher technology trickles down. And it's really cool that are right around, I mean, it's like $49, $49, so right around $100 minus with the sale, you have an awesome spinning combo.
Another one for you. This combo is from Daiwa. We're talking about the Aired X. The spinning and casting. We're going to get to casting, but the Daiwa Aired X is a staple at this price point. I've talked in years past about how we went on a road trip years ago, and this is actually still the same rod. I've had this rod in and out of my boat for 6 or 7 years. We were just talking, I'll bet I've caught fish in 15 different states on this rod.
That specific rod.
That specific rod. I mean, it has been through the paces with me. And at this price point, there's 2 different groups, right? There's the new guy who doesn't want to spend too much on gear and they're looking for something solid. But there's also the advanced angler who is on a budget. And you in particular, you understand you don't want to get taken. You don't want to buy junk. And that is why we have worked so hard to find combos or find rods or reels that will stand the test of time. Because this isn't just about saving money. It's about getting quality gear at an affordable price. So this combo, that Daiwa Aired X paired up with that Daiwa Revros LT, is an amazing combo for the price. You're just over $100, plus you've got the sale on the rod, which is going to bring it back really close to $100. But that Revros LT in particular, it went through a complete redesign this year. So this is a brand new version of the LT, and it dropped almost half an ounce and only went up a few bucks. I mean, that's ridiculous. In high-end gear, dropping half an ounce, you're up 100, 150, 200 bucks trying to cut weight out of a reel. And the durability seems to still be the exact same. My last Revros, I mean, I did my best to destroy that thing. I've got a handful of months into this one, solid as a rock. Cut weight, tiny increase in price, same package. That combo is just one of those. I feel like 10 years from now, we'll still be talking about these two combos. I mean, they're that solid.
Yeah, they are the staple in the price point. And then just to piggyback off what Matt said about the spinning rod, I have the Daiwa Airdex casting rod. Again, durability. We can't preach that enough. Getting the best bang for your buck, getting gear that's going to last. That Daiwa Airdex, same with the spinning rod. It's a great rod. Again, we've used them for years. It has a good enough action that you can throw topwater baits, you can throw crankbaits, you can throw Texas rigs, and then paired up with a Daiwa. This is the CC80. I think it's right around 89-ish.
I think they're cheaper than that, like 69 bucks.
Don't quote us. We'll link everything down below in the video description. But I think you're right around that $100 price point. The cool thing about this reel, it's got a magnetic braking system and aluminum spool, so a little bit nicer quality stuff in the reel. And again, this specific reel we've used for years with no issues.
Now, right there is where we're going to start breaking the price point. Last year, you had more options. Some important reels got discontinued. The market is changing. It's hard for companies. So in order to give you more options, we're going to fudge a little bit right here. First one up, the Shimano Celis. Casting version of that same spinning rod. Familiar actions. You're down there around that $49 mark on the rod. Of course, there is a sale, but we're going to fudge on the reel. We put a Shimano KSB on there, and that reel is about an $89 reel. So that's where we're breaking budget a little bit. But the KSB is Shimano's lowest price point reel, and it is a solid reel. Again, same story. We've been fishing with them for years with no issues. One thing that's so neat about both Shimano and Daiwa is that they build in-house, right? It's not subbed out somewhere else. It's not some third-party factory building them. Even when you get down to the budget gear, you're talking about a centrifugal braking system, high-end components built in Shimano's own factory, and it is a super solid, super durable combo that's just a little bit over the price point.
Yeah, anytime you could have your stuff built in-house, you don't have to deal with quality control issues. You kind of have just oversee everything, and that's probably why Daiwa and Shimano are the top two in the rod and reel game. Next up for me, I'm going with a 13 Fishing Defy Black rod.
Nice.
Paired up. This is the Lose Laser MG Speed Spool. Now, in this reel, you're getting brass gears. You get a single piece frame and then aluminum spool. So some of the nicer components, if you will, in this reel. This reel, I think it comes in right around 85 or 90 bucks. And then the Defy Black. What's cool about this rod, if you're one of those guys that likes everything matchy-matchy, the Defy series is an entire line. So you can get basically your technique. It's kind of the entry level to your technique specific rods. So you can get different lengths, powers, and actions depending on the different techniques you want to fish. And they actually, they have some higher end rods too in the Defy Black. We're going to talk about that in next video. Swim bait rod and everything. So you can get a whole line in the Defy Black and just be consistent with all of your gear. But again, no durability issues. This one comes in a little bit over that price point, but we'll get you close with the sale. That's an awesome setup if you want to start building your technique specific lineup.
Tim just absolutely nailed it with that. Those Defy Blacks, they start at like 69 bucks. And the fact that you can get into technique specific at 69 bucks is
crazy.
Amazing. Below that, the Celis, the Airdex, you've got a handful of models to choose from. They're a little bit more moderate action.
Slower.
Than higher end. Yes, thank you. They're a little bit slower than some of the higher end rods, but that makes them fantastic for moving baits, And you can still get away with slow fish and stuff on, like that Airdex. I throw a Senko on it a lot. It's a fun little combo. But as soon as you hit that $69 mark and that Defy Black comes in, it's a whole nother ball game. That brings me to our last combo. So that Defy Black with that lose on it and this Halo Rave 3, again with a KSB on it, these two are the exact same price. Again, they blow budget just a little bit, but we've already talked about that KSB. It's a solid reel. It's a workhorse reel. It's actually got enough backbone and enough guts to do some serious fishing. Let's talk about this Halo line. These Rave rods, the reason this is in here, the rod itself, 69 bucks. They only have 3 models. They've got a medium, medium heavy, and a heavy. Here's why we're talking about it. The 7.2 heavy is a legit heavy. So again, at $69, we just crossed the line where you can now do things like frog, pitch, light flipping. 69 bucks.
Right.
It's legitimately put a Jackal Kiara on that and start frog fishing. No problem. Put a Spro on there, a Bronzeye, no problem. It's going to be able to set those hooks. It's amazing. Just a few years ago, this stuff did not exist. It just flat did not exist. You did not have these options at these price points. And it's amazing to see the growth in this category. Even though we lost a few reels this year, the technique options, unreal.
Yeah, it's all to the benefit of us, the angler, right? Lots of rods and reels to choose from. I can't believe we're talking about like $100 price point, talking about frogging and technique-specific rods. It's bass fishing's come a long way in the last couple decades. A lot different from when you and I were kids, and some amazing, good quality stuff at this price point. Let's talk some line real quick.
Let's talk line. So Tim already mentioned the number one thing you can do to increase sensitivity with budget gear is to use braided line. That will take it to a whole nother level for you. You can fudge a couple price points up in sensitivity just by adding braided line. The particular braid that you use matters a lot when we're talking spinning. You want smooth braid, and there's just some that work better than others for that category. One in particular, Suffix 832, is one of Tim and I's favorite lines for spinning reels. Now, one thing about braid is up front, it's going to cost a little bit more, but on the back end, it'll save you a fortune. You can spool that up, and unless you really blow it up, you can fish it for a season or two or
three,
longer without respooling. Whereas fluorocarbon, you're going to be respooling regularly. So braid is a huge cost savings in the long run. Now, for fluorocarbon with spinning, you want a higher end fluorocarbon. Not super high end by any means. Super FC Sniper by Sunline is what Tim and I use both on our budget stuff and our high end stuff. Super reliable when you're throwing that spinning tackle. And then on the casting side of it, again, braid will take it to the next level. Power Pro Max Quattro is one of the main braids that we fish with day in and day out. It's an extremely thin diameter, so you're able to get a stronger line without wasting any line capacity. So, you know, that Halo where we're talking about actual power fishing, put a 50-pound braid on that, call it a day. All your power fishing techniques are covered. But there's a lot of times where you are still, fluorocarbon is convenient, right? You just spool it up and go, especially on your lighter combos where we're talking about cranking or just covering water with a lot of different baits. A basic fluorocarbon on the bait caster side is no problem. Seaguar Basics, bang for the buck, unreal. Absolutely unreal. It's a phenomenal option that will save you a bunch of money and be a durable line. I was amazed. Was that last year that Basics hit the
2
market?
years ago,
That was amazing. I mean, they brought the cost of fluorocarbon way, way down.
Yeah, one thing to clarify when we're talking about braid and fluorocarbon, on our spinning combos, we're having a braid to a leader. We're not fishing straight braid, whereas when we're talking about frogging, you are throwing straight braid. You're tying that frog right to straight braid, but for the most part, you're throwing that Suffix, you know, 8-pound braid, and then you're putting a fluorocarbon leader on there. This will last you 2-3 seasons. All you have to do is change out your leader. And then one key tip for you guys that are getting into the bait casting world, you don't want to blow up a whole spool of fluorocarbon. Go ahead and peel off like 30 or 40 yards, put a piece of tape right there, and then reel it back up. That way, if you do blow up your reel as you're trying to tune it, playing with all the different knobs, the braking system, the spool tensioner, as you're learning and dialing in that reel, the worst you can do is blow up those 30 yards and not your whole entire spool.
All right, guys, with that, we are going to wrap up the $100 rod and reel combos. We are continuing on 7 days a week. There is still time to make purchases and get them for Christmas. We were waiting for the sale, but we wanted to make sure you could still get them in time. So in the video description below this video, we will link all of this in the order that we talked about it. We'll give you our favorite specific models, like that 7.2 Heavy. We'll link our favorite models for each one of these, our favorite reel speeds where that's relevant, the line, all of that will be in the video description below the video for your convenience and for your loved ones' convenience as they're shopping for the holidays last minute. With that, we wrap this one up. We will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're talking $200 combos. We'll keep rolling from there towards those super high-end combos at the end. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you soon.